सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। So we will chant after a bit. Let me begin the summary, then we can begin chanting. So today we want to look at the entire second chapter, entire 12th chapter. Summary of 12th chapter. So we know that this 12th chapter is part of the Madhyama Shaka, namely the middle third of the Bhagavad Gita, chapters 7 to 12. And the significance is that the first 6 talks about Jiva Swarupa, the nature of the Jiva. Second 6 chapters, 7 to 12, talks about Ishvara Swarupa. And the last 6 chapters, Jiveshvara Aikyam. That is the way it is generally laid out and it's taught. And now, in this section, middle section, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 chapters talked about Ishvara Swarupa. And then now ready for a summary of that, Bhakti. And Bhakti is the underlying theme of whatever yoga you talk about. And Bhakti is towards Ishvara. Bhakti implies Ishvara, Bhagavan. Bhakti towards Bhagavan. And so Swami talks about something you don't know anything about. You can't have a relationship. You can't say, I love it or I hate it. Even to say, I hate it, you must know what that it is. There's something about the it has to be known. For you to say, I like it, I don't like it, it's okay. Something you can say. Otherwise, you can't say. Cannot love an unknown thing. Okay? And so like our, suppose your friend has come home and you're very good friends, and he brought along with him another friend. Now so if they ask you, do you like that friend's friend? Means okay, I'm sure I have no problem in liking my friend's friend, but let me know a little more about my friend's friend. Okay. And that's what it is. Exactly like in Facebook. They say friends, friends means you post something and then it'll ask you, just click here. All you have to do is one click and then that's it, over. You not only friends will get it. Do you want your friends also to get it? That's why you look at all these people, friend list, they have 500,000, 5,000 friends, and you look at them. No, who is this person? No, I don't know this person. 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 Friends, unknown people. All unknown people are there, are our friends. See, that's the beauty of modern age. We have this is an advanced civilization, no doubt. And so, friends need not be our friends, right? And so we have to know something. That is why, in order to love a country, you have to know a lot about the country. That's why they teach history in school. So the idea of country comes and what it means to be a citizen of this country. That has to be clear for every citizen, and only that clarity will give can make the person a patriot, etc. Okay, so a friend visited somebody was there, and the friend visited him after a long time. And so they talked, and then they went for a walk. And then walking, and then they sat under a big tree. The tree has been there for ages, banyan tree, very big tree. And under the shade, they were sitting and they were talking. The friend was telling a story. The friend said, "You know what? There was in the late 1800s, 1870, 1890, there was a queen called Velu Nachiyar in Tamil Nadu, in today's Tamil Nadu, right? And Sivagangai is the place. And she was the queen of a king who died fighting the British. And so she decided, I'm not going to give up. She had a very small army, and because of small army, she couldn't just all her attacks were surprise attacks, and then this is how it was. And then there are two brothers called Marudu brothers, Marudu Sahodarar, or Marudam brothers in English, whatever. And these people, they helped her a lot, and they were also courageous. They stood up to the British, and the British tried to apprehend these two brothers. So this friend is telling the story, right? And so apprehend the brothers, and the brothers couldn't. They were hiding in the forest, and but the British wanted to get them. So they hatched a plan. Plan is this: the two brothers, they have this Kalayar Kovil, Kalayar Shiva temple is there, and that's their deity, and they will not do anything without worshipping Shiva there. That's and so they will come there somehow or the other. They will come, and they're associated with that temple wherever they're hiding. So they decided we are going to demolish this temple. That's the announcement uh, they made, and then sure enough, the Marudam brothers decided, you know, we cannot allow this to happen. Our lives may be important, but our dharma is more important than us. So they came forward and they said, we know why you're doing this, and we surrender, but you have to spare this temple. And condition number two, you will not resort to such cheap tricks anymore. Okay, these are the conditions we have. So whatever. And so they were hanged. Both the brothers were hanged. This is the story the friend told this person under this tree. And then the friend said, what is that? They said that's just a pole. It's been there for a long time. I don't know. It's just a metallic rod. Go closely and see what is there. And this guy goes closely, and there is something written on that, like a pillar. Something written. And what's written there is what? In memory of Marudam brothers. Okay. My God, I've been living here for 30 years. I didn't know this. And this thing is in memory of them. That means the people here knew about the Marudu brothers, and that's what he heard. Now, from the next day onwards, what is this? He walks along this tree. Previously, he saw that tree. Now he's going to look at this pillar. Whole outlook has changed for this. Completely changed. Why? That knowledge is there, and that knowledge can do wonders. So here also, Ishvara Jnanam was given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and that will automatically lead to bhakti. Automatically lead to bhakti. And I know a good young man who recently graduated and is working in US, and not a religious man at all, but very, very, very dharmic person. Means he thinks about everything: environment, plastics, the electricity, ozone, ice melting, this, everything. Himsa, vegetarianism, non-vegetarian, animal abuse, this, that, everything he knows. So very conscientious. And he told me certain things. And he said, we are a godless generation. Okay, we are a godless generation. He tells me he's hardly 20, 5, 26, 24, and we are a godless generation. Okay, means what? They 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 are they are they know a lot about the workings of this world, but that person was not happy. I mean, because something is missing. They know so much, but something is missing. He says we are a godless generation. That means what? The heart wants that. We don't have any structure. He said that. These are his words. This young man's words. We don't have any structure. And then another thing he said, okay, Hindu, the religion has not been made accessible to us. Look at that. Look at the way he's saying it. Means what? He's throwing a challenge at all of us. Correct? He's throwing a challenge. Guys, you are talking Gita, Upanishad, and all these things. You have not reached us yet. We are at the unreached population. But we want you. Really, we want. He didn't say it, but that's what he means. We want you. And so, that has to be provided. So, Ishvara Jnanam, from young age, we have to do this. And our challenge now is to how to reach this godless generation. If they recognize they are godless, that means what? But you can't. And he also said one thing: I can't simply go to a temple and chant a few shlokas. I can't. It will be just action. Some act. I'm just acting it out. Can't be like that also. So it's a challenge for all of us. And so here in this chapter 12, Ishvara Jnanam culminates in the 12th chapter called Bhakti Yoga. And therefore it's an important chapter because it does talk about the entire Veda. It's a Veda Sara in such a cryptic, just 20 shlokas. So we shouldn't say it's important chapter because it has only 20 shlokas, easy to chant, 4 times smaller than the second chapter and the 18th chapter. Like that, we should say it's important because it's Veda Sara. And so, yetu dharmyam ritamidam, the last shloka we saw that. Dharmyam, Veda Anu, Veda Saraha. And so, with that introduction, let's chant the first 2 shlokas. Arjuna Uvacha.
Sorry. Arjuna Uvacha
Evam Satatayukta Ye
Evam Satata Yukta Ye
BhaktastvamParyupasate
Bhakta Swam Paryupasate
Ye Chapyaksharamavhyaktam
Ye Chapyakcharam Avyaktam
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha
Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Maya Veshyamano Yema.
Maya Veshyamano
Yaveshamano
Yemam
Yema
Yeah, everybody can mute themselves except Prasanna. Maya Veshyamano Yema.
Maya Veshyamano Yemam
Nityayukta Upasate.
Nityayukta Upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopetaha.
Shraddhaya Parayopetaha
Te me yuktatama mataha.
Te me Yuktatama Mataha.
Yeah, so this first two shlokas are incidental to Bhakti Yoga. They are not part of the essence of this chapter because he's asking. Arjuna's question is what? He's saying which people are superior? The people who worship Saguna Brahman. Saguna Brahman means the Devatas, yeah, or Nirguna Brahman. Those who worship Nirguna Brahman. Who are superior, he says. Because in the previous chapter, if you look, it is Vishwarupa, Darshana Yoga. So from Ishta Devata, it is moving towards Vishwarupa, which is the entire universe, which is going to lead to Arupa Darshana, going towards formless. Forms are being eliminated. So he's asking this good question: who are greater? And not knowing that it's a wrong question. Correct? Why it's a wrong question? It's a wrong question because it's like asking which people are better, people who have just finished high school or people who have finished college, who are superior. No, it's not like that. And one is a stepping stone for the other. There is no nirguna vichara without saguna bhakti, without without the basics that we all learn as children and as adults. And so saguna brahma Saguna Brahma Bhakti is incomplete without Nirguna Brahma Vicharaha. Nirguna Brahma Vicharaha is not possible without Saguna Brahma Bhakti. Okay? This is what Swamiji says. And so we know that to be true. And because finally we have to come to the truth. Believer, that's what I keep saying. They are all believers. We, on the other hand, we don't call ourselves as believers. We're all seekers, seekers of truth. Okay? Seekers of truth. And finally, sooner or later in this dharma, we have to come to this, and which our Kenopanishad talks about, both Saguna and Nirguna. Yad vachanabhyuditam yena vagabhyudhyate. That which cannot be accessed by words. There are no words to describe the self of all things, ironically, really speaking. Yena vagabhyudhyate. But that by which all words are utterable, possible, communicable, etc., etc. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. Understand that to be Brahma. Nedam Yadidam Upasate. Not the God that you've been worshipping all along. Look at the bold statement Upanishad made. That is why it's called Vedanta. Last, towards the end of the Veda. Same thing. Yet chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshugumsi pashyati. That which the eyes cannot see, but that because which the eyes can see. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Second time it says. Third time, yan manasana manute yenahur manomatam. Yan manasana manute, that which cannot be thought of by the mind, but that because of which the mind is able to think. Yenahur manomatam. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, understand that to be Brahma. Not that nedam yadidam upasate, not that which you are worshipping, because what I'm worshipping has a form and attributes. This is the final lesson given to this bhakta. Just taking the bhakta away from the comfort zone. You know, they talk about comfort zone, right? Our Shastra is constantly taking us out, putting us in a comfort zone, and then quietly just saying, no, that's not the end game. Okay? So therefore, you can see now. You can now see, you can put all religions in one bucket, and then you kind of say, you know, Advaita Vedanta doesn't fit in that bucket. Doesn't fit. It looks like every other religion is same, but then all religions are same, but then no, our dharma is different. It wants us to go all the way up. Okay, so therefore, this chapter, first two shlokas, incidental, and he says, you know, Shraddhaya Parayopetaha Teme Yukta Tamamataha. So he just gives a how do you answer this question to somebody who says which is better, high school is better or college is better? You have to come up with a creative answer. That's all. Okay, let's chant from the third sloka onwards. So from the third to 12, Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Is being talked about. Let's chant this. Ye tvaksharamanirveshyam. Yeah, who is
Is it
next?
me again?
No, the next after Prasanna.
Actually, it was Prasad ji, Prasad
Yeah,
Gurgal. He's not on, his video is off. I can't spotlight him.
okay. Then after Prasad.
Premaji.
Prema ji, can you keep your video on?
Yeah, and I'm driving. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Prema, okay, I'll make it clear. Okay.
Yeah, Premaji can come next. Okay. Ye tvaksharamanirveshyam.
ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम्
अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च
कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्
कूटस्थम् अचलं ध्रुवम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
देहवर्भि देहवर् देहवद्भिर्भवाप्यते
ये सर्वाणि कर्माणि
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः
मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः
मत्पराः
मत्पराः
अनन्येनैव योगेन
अनन्येनैव योगेन
मां ध्यायन्त उपासते
मां ध्यायन्त उपासते
Teshamaham samudharta
तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता
Mrityu samsara sagarat
मृत्युसंसारसागरात्
Bhavami nachirat partha
भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ
Mayyaveshita chetasam
मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्
Yeva mana adhatsva
मय्येव मन आदत्स्व
Mayi buddhim niveshaya
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
Nivasishyasi mayyeva
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
Ata urdhvam na samshayah
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः
अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
अत चित्तं समादातुं
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मत्कर्म परमो भव
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
अतैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्
So that's the main, that's the set of slokas where Bhagavan Sri Krishna enumerates various things, various sadhanas. And so Bhakti Yoga is not one sadhana, one particular means that is standing out opposed to so many other yogas. It is a combination of all the sadhanas. It's a package. Okay. As Swamiji says, it's a package. It's not one sadhana. Okay. And how many stages, how many were talked about by Sri Krishna? We talked about 5. Stages can be any based on your model, right? Based on your model. You can say Saguna Brahma Bhakti, Nirguna Brahma Bhakti. You can say that. That's your model. Because that's a difference. Or if you're a psychologist, you can have psychology models will be there. Can be there. And so you can use the psychological models and come up with this gradation. But psychology will not take you to Vedanta. So you have to bring in some Vedanta somehow. You can say, okay, psychology plus Vedanta model I have, you can say. So like that, one can give models. So here, it's a 5-stage model called Bhakti Yoga. Stage 1 is what? Nishkama Pradhana Karma Yoga. Right? Sakama Pradhana Karma Yoga. Why Sakama? Why don't you put Nishkama first and put Sakama later? That would be nice, Start with Sakama, then end up with. Start with Nishkama and go to Sakama. No, it's not possible because We are all born with Ajnanam. We are all born with kamas. Nobody needs to be told you must like ABC, etc. It's not. There's no need for such that kind of a lesson. And here the lesson is to understand all these kamas that are just taking us away in so many different directions. And so the Shastram goes along with us. Okay, come on. Dharma, Artha, Kama. Okay, Pradhana, Jivanam. And so that Yoga Kshema, I want to acquire, I need to protect, keep what I acquire. I want to acquire, I want to keep what I acquire. I want to acquire for my children, I want to keep that thing. I want to acquire things for my family and I want to keep. I want to protect it from being lost. Yoga and Kshema. Okay? Yoga and Kshema. Yoga Kshema. So entire life is just Yoga Kshema. And so, but this Yoga Kshema life is there, but then Karma Yoga. Bhakti, right? Bhakti is there. This is all Bhakti Yoga. So I do whatever I'm doing, I'm pursuing Yoga and Kshema because that is what I know, that's what I've been taught. But then there is Ishvara in my life. Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan is there. And so that Bhagavan is brought in the form of Karma Yoga. And so there is, I need shock absorbing facility because otherwise I can't handle all these traumas, all these disappointments, all these frustrations, all these things that don't happen, that I want to happen. So therefore, Ishvara is helping me there. Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan is the greatest shock absorber. And then stage two is Nishkama Pradhana Karma Yoga. That is also Karma Yoga. But then I have become a little wiser now because I've said, you know what, this is, the clock is ticking and there is no end to this Yoga Kshema. There's no end. I can keep on doing, I will keep on doing. Next Janma also they say is going to come. And so next Janma, instead of saying, I don't want next Janma, I will at least be a little practical and I say, what does the Shastram say? Shastram says you have to know yourself. And so you have to develop Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi becomes my goal. My goal is not to achieve and accumulate and, get into that mindset. I want to come out of that mindset. Okay. So that thought, that virus enters, that idea enters. I don't want to use the word virus, take it back. That bija, that seed, that thought enters. And so now I will not brood. I will not brood over the exams of my children. I will not brood over the lives of my grandchildren. Because they have, my grandchildren have parents, just like I had parents. They also have parents, So it's their responsibility to take care of my grandchildren. I am not responsible for my grandchildren. My children are responsible. Then, wow, that's very empowering. My goodness, that thought itself, it's empowering. Oh, why am I worrying about it? Yeah, I'm there to help anybody who wants help, but I don't need to put myself. In fact, they say I'm the problem. Now I understand why they say I'm the problem. I thought I'm the solution, but I'm the problem. And so this is a huge jump. This itself is a huge jump. We're not come to Vedanta yet. Huge jump to just say, you know what? This is actually supposed to free us, not to bind us. That idea itself is very freeing, empowering. And so this is stage 2. Nishkama Pradhana Karma Yoga. Nishkama. Why Nishkama? Because what used to be part of my karma is now not part of my karma. No, it's not occupying a big part of my mind. Other things I have devoted myself. Okay? And so that's why it's Nishkam, Pradhana. It's possible. It's possible to, it's possible to love everybody, but not depend on certain
Guruji, Guruji, these also start on the Vairagya, right?
Vairagya. Okay, so Vairagya is there. So this is Nishkam. Vairagya becomes very important. And it's at the same time that doctors also tell us you have diabetes, you have this, you have to stop this, you have to stop that. And so, okay, now I realize, oh my God, I have to let go of the things I like. And so this also comes along. And so that is stage 2. Then stage 3. Now comes, now focus. Learn to focus. Learn to be with oneself. Then dhyanam comes. This is what Swamiji introduces. Upasana. He uses the word upasana. And so, Eka Rupa Upasanam. Ishta Devata Upasanam. Okay. And so now I need to know how to stay with myself for some time. And that is called dhyana. That is called dhyana. Saguna Brahma. Vishaya Manasa Vyapara. Right? That's the definition of dhyanam. And where the topic of thought, the only thought in my mind is Saguna Brahma, means Bhagavan, means Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata. And if I do dhyanam just because some friends are doing dhyanam and I want to also show to everybody that I also do dhyanam once a week, then what happens? I will sit in meditation. And then previously I had Yogakshema throughout the day, Yogakshema. Now Padmasana Rupa Yogakshema means I'm sitting in Padmasana and still I'm worrying about my children and parents and brother, sister, husband, wife. Previously, I never sat in this position and worried, but now I have a new way of worrying. That is dhyana. Then you get up and say, no, this is not working out. Why it doesn't work out? Because I'm not grown out of it yet. I'm still, okay. So otherwise I'll give a new definition for this. What is the new definition? New definition is Yogakshema Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha instead of Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha. Right? And so withdrawing from my obsession with the world and my obsession with my body and my family. And so that stage begins in this third stage, which is Eka Rupa Upasana, Rupa Bhakti. Okay? Which Bhagavan Sri Krishna calls it as Abhyasa Yoga also in that shloka number 12, which we said was a slightly odd shloka. Is a twister. Okay. And so that's that here. And so this person is now ready for next stage. What is the next stage? Now questions start arising. What should be my Ishta Devata? If I meditate on Rama, is it better, or is it Krishna better, or Shiva? Probably best, right? He's the meditator, ultimate meditator, obviously, right? So I should be doing on Shiva. All along, by mistake, I've been meditating on Sri Krishna. So these questions will come, should strike me at some point and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. In fact, what is the meaning of Ishta Devata? Ishta Devata is Devata, that is my Ishta is Ishta Devata. So you can't say, what is my Ishta Devata? It's whatever is your like is your Ishta Devata. Devi can be your Ishta Devata. Lalita can be your Ishta Devata. Saraswati can be your Ishta Devata. Lakshmi, all along, Lakshmi, I ran after Lakshmi. Okay, keep Lakshmi as your Ishta Devata. Nothing wrong with it. That is Ishta Devata. Therefore, when the questions arise and it says it doesn't matter, oh really? It doesn't matter. What about Ganesha? Will Ganesha get upset if I do this? No. Don't worry. I'll put in a word to Ganesha. He won't get upset. Okay. And so then it strikes us. Oh, okay. I see. So these boundaries are meant for us, for me to gain that bhakti, but I should not take them literally. I should not take them literally. And so it's not like Ram is opposed to Krishna, is opposed to Shiva, is opposed to everybody else. No, there's no opposition at all. Even though there's a lot of stories that talk about some opposition. Yeah. Stories are stories. It's meant for us to, for our attention to be grabbed by those kinds of stories. So then stage 4, Vishwarupa Upasana. Vishwarupa Bhakti. So now for me, I can relate. I'm now able to look at the world differently. The world is Ishvara. That as a child also I knew God is everywhere. That's the beauty of this culture. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God is anybody. In fact, our people, the so-called less modern people and so-called tribal people know this much better because they have not been spoiled yet by some funny ideas. And so they worship Native Americans or Indians, American Indians. They are the natives of America, And there's a famous statement. They say, the earth doesn't belong to us. The Christianity says earth belongs to us. No, earth does not belong to us. We belong to earth. We belong to Mother Earth. There is a famous statement. I forget what it is. That's what it is, essence. So they are, regardless which part of the world they are, they all know it already. And so that Vishwarupa Drishti is what I'm ready for at that point. Okay. And so that was stage 4, where now I'm beginning to break down borders. All these barriers are all being broken down. Which was highlighted from Vibhuti Yoga, then to Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. In chapter 11, we saw that. And so, instead of making comparisons, now the comparisons are now dropping off. And my mind has become so big now. It is going along with the universe. It's going along with Ishvara. And my mind is just free. Chitta Visharata is there. That's the beauty of Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Okay. And now I'm asking more questions. Why? Because now tell me, if my mind is expanding like this, what is the connection between me and Ishvara and the world? Am I part of the world? Am I the world? Is God me? How did God create me? And all these questions will start. Good. Now I'm ready for what is called Jnana Yoga. I'm ready for Jiveshwara Aikya Jnanam. I'm ready for Nirguna Brahma Vichara. Right? That was stage 5. And which is also bhakti. All along, bhakti is there. Bhakti, 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 bhakti. Now also bhakti will be there. And so, for bhakti, very clear, bhakti yoga. You should not look at it as a separate track that is very good for me. Because somebody said, emotional people, bhakti yoga is best. So it's okay. I mean, those are all some limited understanding we had, but we are ready to come out of those kinds of limited understanding. And so, Nirguna Brahma Vichara. And Shankaracharya said, what did he say? Moksha Karana Samagriyam Bhaktireva Gariyasi. Among all the tools, quote unquote tools we have for gaining moksha, Bhaktireva Gariyasi. Bhakti is the greatest. Why? Because it's natural. As a child, bhakti is there. You make the child say, do namaskar. Immediately the child does namaskar. You should see children, the way they're spontaneous they are. How spontaneous. They do namaskar. Why? Because the child saw mother and father doing namaskar in the temple and everywhere, every morning, every evening. And all. Automatic namaskar. Then immediately go to the playground. Do namaskar. Oh, job is done. Then go back and go to the play. Play. That's beautiful. So, that's natural. And so, Bhakti Reva Gariyasi. Then what Shankaracharya adds? So, Saswarupānusandhānam Bhaktihi iti abhidiyate. Now let me define Bhakti. Bhakti is equal to Swarupa Jnanam. Swarupa Jnanam, knowledge of the self. For whom? For myself only it is. It's not for somebody else. Swaswarupānusandhānam. Bhaktireva. That is the definition of bhakti. He just changed the whole thing. This is bhakti. Love for myself. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. That's self. I love everything in this world because I love myself. That thing pleases me. The commitment is to me. Commitment is to me. I love my children. Why? The children please me. I love my husband. Why? Because he pleases me. I love my parents. I hate my parents. Why? Because they don't please me. I love my job. Why? Because my boss knows how to keep me challenged. I hate my job. Why? My boss doesn't understand me. It's an incompetent place. My co-workers also, they love this kind of incompetence, but I'm not born like that. What to do? I like challenges. Therefore, I hate my job. Why? Because that job ceases to please me. I am the center of my world. I am the center of my world. Bhakti. He connects back to the self. And so, says Swarupanu Sandhanam. And this fifth stage, Nirguna Brahma Vichara, is another huge leap. You know why? Because now I am moving from object to subject. I am moving from name to nameless, Nama to Anama. I am moving from Rupa to Arupa. Correct? I am moving from finite to infinite. Okay? I am moving from limitedness to unlimitedness, limitless. That's not a journey that I've been taught before by anybody. Nobody even used this language before. Okay? Although I've heard songs and shlokas and this and that, but still this is now becoming clearer to me. I'm moving from saguna to nirguna, attributes to non-attributes. Attributes, I'm very good. I'm very good. All sciences are all about study of attributes, study of cause and effect. I'm moving from cause and effect to something that is free of cause and effect. I'm moving from anityam to nityam. I've been telling all along, oh, the world is impermanent, life is impermanent. It's how it is. You have to put up with life. Now to saying, hey, you are the nityam. This becomes a philosophy. Otherwise, everybody is impermanent. World is impermanent. So you have to deal with it. Find a way to deal with it. That's all fine. But it's not a philosophy, my dear friend. Philosophy takes us beyond that. So this journey is there to move from there to here. Okay. And so I'm moving from the thinkable to unthinkable. Yen manasana manute yenahur manomatam. And so, Gurumeva vigachet. I'm moving from the sadhya to siddha. Means what? I'm moving from the world of karma, where I must do something and accomplish something, to something which is already accomplished, which no karma can accomplish and no karma need accomplish. This journey, who's going to help me with this journey? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Approach Guru, sa Guru meva vigachet. Approach a Guru. Why? Well, for the same reason. Because this journey is just, I can't figure this journey out. Reading a book, how can you go and do this? Not possible. Which book is going to say that? You listen, Shravanam Kuru. Then you can read any number of books. Once the problem is crystal clear and the vision is clear, then any book can help us. But before then, Sa Guru Meva Vigachet. Correct? And so, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is important. Shravanam is Avarana Nivritti. We saw that. Mananam is Samshaya Nivritti. Nididhyasanam is Viparita Bhavana Nivritti. And so now everything falls in place. But this jnanam is intellectual. There is no non-intellectual knowledge. All knowledge is intellectual. That is why we don't have to say intellectual knowledge. Unless there was some other knowledge like gastroenteric knowledge or dental knowledge, we don't have to say mental knowledge or intellectual knowledge. Everything is mental. How can a knowledge like this free me? Emotionally, I'm bound. I'm no good. I'm inadequate. I'm subject to sorrow. I'm subject to frustration. I'm subject to depression. All these are emotional problems. Body doesn't say I'm depressed. Body doesn't say I'm fat. You need to lose some weight, my dear friend. You made me fat. Fortunately, body doesn't argue like that. So it's all out here in the mind. Okay. Bandha moksha yoho karanam is the mind. Shankaracharya says somewhere. Bondage is here. Freedom is also here only. Okay. And so this intellectual knowledge, so to speak. Why is it intellectual knowledge? Because this ajnanam, this mistaken idea about myself is also intellectual. It also is there in the mind only. Therefore, an intellectual problem needs an intellectual solution. A problem at the level of the intellect has to be solved at the level of the intellect. Okay. That's the beauty of this pursuit, this shastram. And therefore, because that it was an intellectual problem, therefore it manifested as emotional problems. Because I am confused essentially, and therefore I go after so many things, artha, kama, and dharma. They don't really seem to solve my problem. Therefore, manifesting as emotional problems. And therefore, if I solve that problem at the intellectual level, it will manifest. It will manifest as emotional freedom. Because finally, we are all bhoktas, we are all experiences. We want to experience happiness. Whatever knowledge, whatever we study, whatever scholarship we gain, I want to be happy at the end of the day, right? I want to be happy. Yeah, that is what Vedanta wants to give us. That is what Vedanta will give us. After studying all these things, will I be happy? Means, yeah. That is the next stage. That is what Bhagavan has said from chapter 13, shloka number 13 to 20. Right? Let's chant that. That is a phalam. What is this? Till 12, it is bhakti yoga. Then from 13 to 20 is bhakti yoga phalam. Okay? Let's chant that. Adveshta sarvabhutanam.
Adveshta sarvabhutana.
Maitrah karuna evacha.
Maitrah karuna evacha.
Nirmamo nirahankaraha.
Nirmamo nirahankaraha.
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Santushta satatam yogi.
Santushta satatam yogi.
Yatatma dridha nischayaha.
Yatatma dridha nishchayaha.
Mayyarpita mano buddhihi.
Mayyarpita mano buddhihi.
Yo madbhaktas same priyaha.
Yo me bhaktas same priyaha.
Yasman no dvijate lokaha.
Yasman no dvijate lokaha.
Lokan no dvijate chayaha.
Lokan no dvijate chayaha.
Harsha marsha bhayodvegaihi.
Harsham arshamayo dvegaihi.
Mukto yassa cha me priyaha.
Mukto yassa cha me priyaha.
Napeksha shuchir dakshaha.
I have anapeksha suchir dakshaha.
Udasino gatavyataha.
Udasino gatavyatah.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Sarvarambha parityagi.
Yo madbhaktas same priyaha.
Yo madbhaktas same priyaha.
Yo nah hrishyati na dveshti.
Yo na krishyati na dveshti.
Na shochati na kankshati.
Na shochati na kankshati.
Shubha shubha parityagi.
Shubha shubha parityagi.
Bhaktiman yassame priyaha.
Bhaktimanya same priyaha.
Tamashatrau cha mitre cha.
Samah shatrau cha mitre cha.
Tatha manapamanayoho.
Tatha manapamanayoh.
Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu.
Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu.
Samasanga vivarjitaha.
Samasanga vivarjitaha.
Tulya nindastutirmauni.
Tulya ninda stutir mauni.
Santushto yena kenachit.
Santushto yena kenachit.
Aniketa sthiramatihi.
Aniketa sthiramatihi.
Bhaktiman me priyo naraha.
Bhaktiman me priyo naraha.
Ye tu dharmyamritamidam.
Ye tu dharmyamritamidam.
Yathoktam paryupasate.
Yathoktam paryupasate.
Shraddhadana matparamaha.
Shraddhadhana matparamaha.
Bhaktastetiva me priyaha.
Bhaktaste tiva me priyaha.
Okay. So 13 to 19 is Bhakti Yoga Phalam, which is manifesting as emotional freedom and, of course, spiritual freedom. Means a freedom which is not defined by what one possesses or what one's health is or what one's family situation is. That kind of freedom it is. And so that's real freedom. Being part of the family, I can say I'm free. Being sitting in an ashram, I can say I'm free. Being alone, I can say I'm free. Being in the midst of all activity, I can say I'm free. Being the Prime Minister of India, I can say I'm free. Why? Because previously I was doing things for the sake of freedom, for the sake of ananda, for the sake of some fulfillment. Now, all my activities are just flowing out of my sense of fulfillment. They are just coming out. They're just coming out without even asking my permission. It's natural. All the things I do now, henceforth, will be natural to me. They are a vibhuti of a jnani. Correct? Now you understand the word vibhuti. Vibhuti means, hey, that's the natural expression of a jnani. Previously, actions were meant for myself. Now actions are not meant for myself. Then for whom is it meant for? Loka sangrahena, loka sangrahartam. Okay. For the world at large, Panchamahayajna is very much there. I don't personally need the Panchamahayajna, but the world needs it. So I am part of that Panchamahayajna. And so, Adveshta, Sarva Bhutanam, etc. we saw. So I am free. Bhokta, what about Bhokta? Tata Manapamana Yoho. Now the world is going to impinge on me. Yes. And therefore I as a Bhokta is affected. Yes. Previously I was definitely affected. Now what? Now Karma Yoga itself was a shock absorber. Now what to talk of Jnanam? I am not going to be affected by anything. The body will get affected by stuff. Even the mind may go up and down a little, but the shock absorber is so much that I know who I am. Therefore, that is absolute. That is absolute. So as a bhakta also, I'm free. I can say I'm free. Even though I'll get headaches, even though splitting headaches will be there, still the person says, there is a lot of pain in the head, but I'm free. Who can make that kind of a statement? Jivan muktaha. That person is a jivan muktaha. And so, at the end, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, sloka number 20, Yetu dharmyamritam idam yathoktam pariyupasate. As I've said, one who follows all that, yatha uktam. Uktam means as said, yatha uktam, as it was told. One who doesn't look for shortcuts anymore. that person is bhaktiman me priyaha. Now one less person for me to worry about, Krishna says. And so that is the essence of this chapter 12 called Bhakti Yoga. Om Tat Sad iti Srimad Bhagavad, you can chant along with me. Om Tat Sad iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadashodhyaya. So we will continue in the next class with chapter 13. And I once again want to acknowledge the parampara that is behind us, that is making us do all these things. This is a huge yajna for us. It can't be planned. It can't be executed just by our own will. And it's happening from some other force. So I want to acknowledge that Guru Parampara. And that force for us is Guru Parampara. Ishvara, Guru Govind do kade kake lagopa. Balihari Guru apne Govind diyo bata. So over. For us, the game is over. We don't have to look for God anywhere. My Guru is my God. Over. Because he's the one who told me what God is all about. So my thanks, my acknowledgement, my namaskars, my Shashtanga namaskars to our Guru Parampara that made us come this far. And so we pray, we ask for their blessing, continued blessing. So we will begin 13th chapter and continue study and complete the Bhagavad. Thank you all very much. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.